Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Julie from Living Large on Lifetime, and today it's time for another WWWWJD. What would Weight Watcher Julie do? That's right, it's Thursday and time for a couple more questions from you guys. Remember, although I do work for Weight Watchers, and I also lost 40 pounds in about, I don't know how long. I lost 40 pounds. I've been on Weight Watchers for about 2.5 years. But this is my personal channel. Weight Watchers is not endorsing or affiliated in any way with this channel, so everything I'm telling you right now is my advice and my opinion only. So let's jump right in. The first question today comes from Ericka Lamb Spicer. Hi Ericka. Ericka says, I'd love some recipes and some lunch ideas and food prep ideas. I love your channel, especially since I don't know much because I just started. So I know this question came a few weeks ago, so hopefully Ericka, you are deep into the freestyle program and Weight Watchers in general and loving it. I hope you've seen some good losses so far and you're enjoying your holiday season. So let me see if I can help you out a little bit. That's a pretty broad question, but I can tell you that I do have a few channels or a few videos on my channel that relate specifically to meal prep. There was a time in my life, it seems so long ago, that I was able to do some meal prep on Sundays. So I did video some of that. And let me tell you, if you can make time for that, it makes the rest of your week so much easier. So much easier. I wish I had time for more meal prep Sundays because it would just make my week go so much better. But I've become tremendously busy on the weekends as well, which is no surprise. So if you want to find my meal prep Sunday videos, do a search on YouTube for Living Large on Lifetime Meal Prep, and then they should pop up. There's not a lot, maybe 4, but hopefully there are some good ideas for you on those videos. So for what I do right now is, if you're watching my channel, you know I am currently using this form from Weight Watchers. It's a PDF that I actually found on the Weight Watchers website. And this is my meal plan for the week after Christmas. So you can see I've already prepped I've already planned my breakfast and my lunches and my snacks and my dinners. Go me. So yeah, that's so that I can jump right back in after Christmas and get right back on board. So that's what I'm using right now, and I actually really like that I can type directly into the PDF and adjust everything. It makes things faster, and then when I actually go to read it, I can read it, because half the time when I write stuff down, I'm crossing stuff out and changing my mind. And with this, I mean, I do change my mind a million times. I can go back and just enter stuff directly into the PDF itself and then reprint it and be able to read it. So what I do, I obviously start with that Weight Watchers worksheet. And the way I start, first of all, is I plan with points in mind. A lot of people start with what they have in the house or what they feel like having. I start with the number of points that I have. So number 1, I always have my grapefruit Bellini for dinner, and that is 18 points. So that literally leaves me 3, 4, 5 points for the day, which now with freestyle is absolutely no problem. It's super, super easy. So I start with my points allowance, and then I also think about like what days, like if I have an event on a specific day, will I need lunch at all? Or if I have an event on a specific day, will I need to have like lower points or not have the Bellini? Or can I splurge a little on another day? So I definitely start with the points. And then I try to plan with a theme. Now, a lot of people will plan an entire week's worth of lunch and it's all the same. I can't stand that. Yes, it absolutely makes meal prep and meal planning 100% easier. My meal prep literally takes 2 to 3 hours. I know, it's insane. It's because I prefer to have different meals on different days. I might repeat a meal, like I might have the same thing on Tuesday and Thursday, or the same thing on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but even that is pretty rare because I just like variety, and I feel like the variety and actually looking forward to what I'm eating every day really helps me stay on program. So if you need variety, I highly suggest you meal plan accordingly. If you don't really care and you think it's actually easier to stay on plan by eating the same thing day in and day out, then you could do that as well. I actually did that for a while when I was more in the weight loss phase. I literally had a turkey wrap and roasted vegetables every day. You'll notice I hardly ever have that now because, yes, I burned myself out. So I try to plan for a different meal each day for lunch, and that just helps keep me on track. It helps keep me looking forward to lunch and excited about the food I'm going to eat versus looking at what other people are having and deciding, oh, I should go with them or I should go out to eat or whatever. So it keeps me involved and excited for my food. So then the next thing I do after I've kind of considered the points and I've decided I'm definitely going to eat something different every day, then I kind of come up with a theme for the week. And the reason I do that is because it kind of ties things together, so it's slightly easier to do a different meal every day. Okay, so for example, I wrote a couple themes down, and I actually do these themes all the time and just rotate the themes themselves and do different menus within the themes. So the themes that I like to do are all wraps. So one week I will have a wrap every single day. I use the Olay Extreme Wellness Wrap, which is one smart point, and then I have just a variety of different fillings that I use within the wraps. So I have a wrap every day, and every day the wrap is different and delicious. So one week I'll do all wraps. Another week I might do all salads. I don't have as many salad recipes, so I'm actually doing salad next week, and I'm only using 2 salads. I'm only at work 4 days anyway, so I already have something planned. So I'm actually only having 3 days of salads. But I will plan like 2 or 3 different types of salads for the week and then rotate them throughout the 5 days. So that's another theme I like to use. I also have an all breakfast theme because I never eat breakfast, but I love breakfast food. So I'll do like a week's worth of breakfast, just 5 different breakfasts that I actually have for lunch. So I prep those in the morning. And the reason that makes it easier is because most of these involve eggs. So I'll prep all the eggs at the same time. A lot of them involve kind of the same, like Canadian bacon and cheese. So when I pick a theme, the ingredients are similar, so that's how it helps out with the actual meal prep. And then the last theme that I do occasionally are soups, and I don't have a huge arsenal of soups that I love either. I know there are a ton of very low point soups out there right now. I just don't happen to love them because honestly I like thick, creamy soup. So there's not a lot of those that are low points. So that's what I'll do next, is I'll just kind of plan within a theme. So all wraps, all salads, all breakfast, all soups, you know, whatever you can think of, but make it a food that you like. So anyway, if you've been watching my channel, you're seeing some of the recipes. I don't actually use like full-on recipes. I just kind of throw stuff together. I'm actually not much of a cook because I don't like cooking right now. So I just throw things together. But hopefully those ideas will give you a place to start. If you have any other questions, feel free to let me know and I can expound a little, or just keep watching and you'll hopefully pick up more ideas as we go along, and more freestyle ideas, because I really haven't fine-tuned any like amazing freestyle recipes. Right now I'm just kind of throwing things together by what sounds good and by the pointage, and I know a lot of other people are really playing with the freestyle foods and making some really good recipes. So I'm gonna, you know, maybe pick some of those up along the way as I go, but for right now I'm pretty happy with the foods that I'm eating. So, and that's the name of the game. You want to eat what you love. Okay, so moving on to the next question. We only have 2 questions for today. So the last question is from Bonita Tucker. Bonita says, nice seeing the sights of New Mexico. It was so fun in New Mexico. I was there in May to visit my cousin that lives in Rio Rancho. My question for you is, when you feel you have overeaten and your weeklies go in the negative, sorry for the noise. When you feel you've overeaten and your weeklies go in the negative, do you get on the scale the next day to see if you have gained? My weigh-in day is Saturdays, and if I go beyond my daily points and into negative weeklies, I get on the scale to see if I have gained. What do you suggest? Okay, so number one, I never ever get on the scale just to see if I've gained, because when I overeat my weeklies or I overeat in general, I know I've gained. My body fluctuates tremendously. If I have too many glasses of diet soda, I will gain. So, and that's just kind of the normal daily fluctuation. So number one, I never ever get on the scale just to see if I've gained, because I already know that I have. When I get on the scale, it's more of a reference point to kind of see, okay, I'm here at this point on Wednesday of this week, and then maybe I'll compare it to Wednesday of last week, and how was I doing then compared to now, and you know, what can I change for the rest of the week. So I actually don't recommend daily weighing. It's not a good idea because number one, like I said, your weight can fluctuate so much within one day, within a few hours. It's just your body's natural process. When you intake food, when you intake liquids, that all weighs something. So number one, when you first take the food in, it's not even calories or fat or whatever that you're weighing. It's the actual food volume and how much that volume weighs. So if I if I wake up in the morning and I eat a zero, not even a 0 points food, a 0 calorie food, and I eat like 2 pounds of it, I'm automatically going to be up 2 pounds, even if it's a 0 calorie food. If I drink 2 liters of water, then I'm going to be up in weight however much 2 liters of water weighs. So it's just not a good idea to weigh yourself daily. I know I say that and I do it. I just don't recommend it unless you can handle knowing that those are natural fluctuations. You're going to be up one day, you're going to be down another, you're going to be up tremendously one day, and it might take 2 days to be down again. So it's just, it varies so much that unless you do it all the time and you're very familiar with your own body's natural patterns, then there's really no pattern at all at first, and you can't tell what's going on, especially if you're trying to fine-tune an eating program. So I don't recommend weighing daily. If you do weigh daily, like I do, I actually have been backing off. Like the last few weekends, I haven't weighed on the weekend, and it has actually been a little bit freeing for me, so that's kind of nice. But on the other hand, I just like to know kind of where I stand, so I do like weighing. I haven't been weighing on the last 2 weekends, and this week I know it's only Thursday, so I haven't weighed for 2 days, but I haven't weighed for 2 days during the week, and that's very unusual for me. It feels a little bit risky, like I'm taking a chance on something, I don't know what, but it also feels a little bit freeing, and I just feel like I know that I'll deal with it on Tuesday, you know? Not that I'm ignoring it, not that I'm sticking my head in the sand, but I'm doing my best as each day comes, and then I'll deal with the weight part of it when I see it on Tuesday. I don't know if I'll wait until Tuesday. I might have to, but anyway, so if you do weigh daily, just understand your body is going to fluctuate tremendously, and it's just data. It's not that you're gaining weight. If you have a water flush, it's not that you just lost a tremendous amount of weight. It's just data, and it all needs to be averaged. What we're looking for is the general trend line, as Fat Dag says. It's not the daily measuring, it's the general trend line that we want to go down. So something that I heard literally years ago when I was in my, I think I was recovering from my eating disorder. I learned that if you do weigh daily, you should take an average of weights to get a more accurate picture of where you're going. So if I weighed on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, I actually would write this down on a piece of paper. So I would write Wednesday and write my weight, and then I would write Thursday and write my weight, and then write Friday and write my weights. And then I would take Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, add those numbers together, divide by 3, and then put that number next to Thursday's weight and put a star by it, because that was my average weight, and it's a more true reflection. On Friday, I would put, first of all, what I weighed for Friday, and then I would put the average of Thursday, Friday, and Saturday's weight next to Friday's weight. I hope that makes sense. But basically what you're doing is averaging each day, and then you only look at the average and see if the average is going up or down, because it's a more accurate picture rather than seeing all of the day-to-day fluctuations. So I hope that helps, Bonita. What I've been seeing lately is that when I know I've been off track or I've been eating way too many points, I haven't been wanting to go on the scale, because I know in my mind that I went over on points. I know in my mind that my weight's going to be up, and I just don't want to give myself the mental damage of actually seeing the number. It doesn't change the number. It doesn't change the fact that I overate my points. But not having to actually look at it means that I'm not going to focus on that for my entire day. You know, because when you get on the scale and it's a bad number, it can ruin your entire day. And that's why I say you have to remember it's a natural fluctuation. It's just data. If you can do that, then weighing every day is okay. But sometimes, even if you can do that, giving yourself a little break is just mentally freeing. So I think that's kind of what I'm doing this week is, I mean, not that I've overeaten the past few days. I've been totally on target for the last 3 days. But I'm just kind of giving myself a mental break from actually looking at the number. So the number is probably, you know, it's going to be what it's going to be by Tuesday, by my official weigh-in day. And I will probably take a look then, if not a little sooner than that. But it's just nice to give myself the mental break, because sometimes, I mean, this happens to me when I go severely negative on my points too. Sometimes I just don't want to look at that number, you know, because it just brings you down a little bit, and then that affects your whole day and your eating patterns for that day. So if you can give yourself a break from the scale, especially during this time of year, I highly recommend it. So you guys, that's it for me today, and you know what, that's it for WWWWJD questions. So if you guys have enjoyed this series and you would like to see it continue, ask me a question, ask me anything. I think this is actually supposed to be relative to Weight Watchers, so we should keep the questions Weight Watchers related. But if you'd like to see another segment next Tuesday, I try to do WWWWJD episodes on Tuesday and Thursday, so if you'd like to see another video on Tuesday, ask me a question below and we'll get the discussion rolling. Just remember that if you have a question or a scenario or something specific about freestyle, if you have a question about Weight Watchers, chances are someone else has that very same question. So if you want to help the Weight Watchers community get it out, let's talk about it, get ideas and suggestions from other people in the community, and make this world a better Weight Watchers place. What I always say is sharing the Weight Watchers love. So thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.